Any good thing in life teaches you to confront yourself and deal with yourself and your own issues. You can think of the martial arts in a lot of different ways. You can think of it as an art, you can think of it as a practice, you can think of it as an exercise, and all those things are great, but I think the most important way to look at the martial arts is as sort of a vehicle for your life. You know, how to express yourself, how to get at the best of yourself, and I think that's what's important in the martial arts, getting to the best of yourself. I would not do anything different in my life, nor change anything in the past. That's not to say that I don't have things in my head that I think, God, I wish I'd done that differently or handled that better, but I think that that everything is an opportunity, you know. The bad things that happen or the mistakes that you make in life are an opportunity for growth, and I think that it's important to look at life as being perfect as it is. Everything that happens is an opportunity and a chance to become more whole as a person. I think the biggest thing that's changed for me with children in the martial arts is that I haven't done it for the last couple of years because my daughter's only 2. But it's been a nice hiatus. I'm getting back to it now. And, you know, I just think that the martial arts is a nice legacy to pass on to kids. You know, I think one thing that I've started to see a little bit in the martial arts that has been nice is there's been a bit of a movement for unity in the martial arts, and I think that that is something that is a good thing. And it's always been there on certain levels, but on other levels not. And I think that that it's something that needs to happen, and I think I've seen it happening a little bit here and there, and it's a good thing. You know, the best thing about the martial arts is the artistic side of it. You know, the chance to take it, make it your own, experience it for yourself. You know, that whole aspect. The martial arts itself. I think the worst thing for me is sometimes people get carried away with it because they you know, martial arts is about combat, and it can take on sort of an emotional combativeness on the outside of it. So I think that that's sort of the worst part of it for me. I'd like to see a little bit more groundedness, a little bit more of the philosophy. You know, I think that everybody's about the techniques and not about it as a way of life and the philosophy. You know, I love going to see martial arts movies, and they are a lot of fun, and they can be so beautiful, and I think that they're great forms of entertainment, but they're in a lot of ways something very different from martial arts itself. I guess it would only be fair to say that Enter the Dragon, Return of the Dragon, those are very impactful, my favorite ones. Actually, I did not study it for many, many, many years growing up. I came to it more as an adult, and I decided to study it out of a curiosity, out of an obvious desire to express myself physically, but also as a way of getting to know my family background and really understanding and experiencing it for myself. My philosophy on life is the things that I work on the most are to be present in the moment. My father had a saying, to change with change is the changeless state, meaning being there in the moment. And if you're always in the moment, then you're taking life head on, and you're changing with every moment that comes, and you're present and you're aware, and it is the sort of state of perfection to aim to be in, and the place where I think all good things happen. I would love for my daughter to study the martial arts, and I'm sure that she will at some point, but I also want her to want to do it, and I was given that opportunity to come to it on my own and to grow my own respect for it, and I think that I can only show her the path, and if she chooses to walk down it, then that would be fine with me, and if she doesn't, then that's fine too. The most important thing to me about the martial arts, I think, I've mentioned just that it is a way of. My father talked about expressing yourself, honestly expressing yourself. And I think in a lot of ways what that means is, when you're in a situation, a combat situation, or in any extreme physical sort of situation, you are faced with dealing with the reality of your body and the reality of what's going on right now. If somebody's coming at you, you are not only dealing with, okay, how am I going to block that, or how am I going to hit this guy, how am I going to take him down? You have to deal with the emotion that comes with that too, and it's an inroad to yourself. It's an inroad to solidifying what's in your soul and getting it to channel back out. So I think that's the most important thing. The person that I would study with, past or present, would obviously be Bruce Lee, for the obvious reasons that he is, was an amazing person, and he was so cutting edge in his thinking and his techniques, and because he was my dad, and it would just mean more time with him.